Summer means unlimited sunshine and an unlimited phone. Switch your number to Sprint and you can save $100 on any phone, which makes the new Samsung Galaxy S4 just $149.99. Unlimit your summer fun with truly unlimited data. Visit your Sprint store or Sprint.com today.
Well, as you know by now, the long-rumored deal is a done deal. Doc Rivers heading west from Boston to become the new coach of the Los Angeles Clippers, and with that, the seventh coach of a 2013 NBA playoff team that will not be with the same team next season. For more on this topic, we bring in from Comcast Sportsnet in Boston, Sherrod Blakely, who covers the team on a daily basis. Sherrod, this story has kept you busy for a long time. Now that it appears to be done, good deal or bad deal for the Celtics?
Well, I think for the Celtics, all things considered, it was what you wanted, which was to get some type of assets of some kind for Doc Rivers. But when you look at this being a 2015 draft pick, when the real draft that everyone is gearing up for is the one before that in 2014, you wonder what kind of impact player you're going to be able to get with that pick, knowing the Clippers are probably going to be one of the better teams in the league the next couple of years. That said, I anticipate the Celtics looking at this as just another asset that they can package with a player or other picks down the road and hopefully land them and impact players down the road. But certainly, if you're the Celtics, all things considered, this wasn't exactly what you wanted, but it's better than nothing.
In the direction that the Celtics appear to be going, do you now anticipate Danny Ainge or anybody in the Celtics front office publicly admitting that they are now in a rebuilding phase of this of the franchise, and if they do that, now that they still actively try and trade Garnett and no longer have Pierce on the team?
Well, I think first of all, there's no way they can get around that reality that they are a rebuilding team, and you have to wonder with a guy like Kevin Garnett, who has a no-trade clause, whether or not he wants to put it out there that he wants to be traded to a contender. Now, Kevin has said repeatedly that he wants to finish his career as a Celtic, as he puts it. He bleeds green. But listen, when you're, I don't know how much that bleeding green is going to help you when you're getting that head crack as a team for 25, 30, 40 losses, something that he is not accustomed to having happen since he's been in Boston. So I would not be surprised if we see between now and the start of the season, Kevin Garnett, at the very least, open the door to being traded and being willing to let up on that no-trade clause that he has.
Before we move forward with the Celtics, an opportunity to reflect back on the legacy of Doc Rivers, a coach who was rumored to be fired before Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen were acquired, and then ultimately leading the team to an NBA championship. One would have to say he had a very successful run. But what is the legacy that people will ultimately talk about with Doc Rivers' 9 years in New England?
Well, I think, it's going to depend on what part of the country you're in. I think folks around here it's going to take them a little time to get past what's happening right now, and that is Doc Rivers' willingness or desire, depending on how you want to look at it, to go coach another team when things got rough. Now, when you look at this from Doc Rivers' perspective, he's going to leave here as a third winningest coach in franchise history. He won a championship here. He was, on the clock when they went through the worst losing streak in franchise history. So he is literally seeing the ups and downs that this franchise can go through and has gone through. I think it's going to be a mixed bag. I think people outside of New England are going to see this as a guy who did a lot for that franchise, suffered through some tough times, and just, he stayed the course. They got a championship, and now, he had a taste of what that championship felt like and being a title contender. And Doc Rivers knows as well as anyone that those opportunities are so few and far between. And certainly this right here is a win-win in his eyes, a chance for him to go to a title contender in L.A. and the Celtics to get at least one more piece towards their rebuilding process.
Sherrod, last offseason, a whole lot was made out of Celtics headquarters that this was Rajon Rondo's team. The veterans wanted to hand over the leadership title to him. Now looking forward, even with the injury to Rondo that may keep him out a portion of the season, how much does the new head coach of the Celtics have to be a guy that can really coach and fit what Rondo's looking for?
Yeah, and I think that's the really tricky balancing act that the Celtics are going to have to walk from this point forward, and that's assuming that they're going to keep Rondo around, which all indications at this point I've been told is that they have no plans of moving him anytime soon. You have to find a coach who understands how to approach the whole rebuilding process, but at the same time, it has to be a coach that Rondo is going to respect. So I think there are very few candidates who fit both of those qualities. But I think there are good enough candidates out there with the Celtics. They'll find somebody to get the job done, and they'll just go through the season and hopefully try to make the best of what obviously is not an ideal situation for them.
Well, I hope you didn't have any vacation planned for this summer. Sherrod Blakely, you're going to be a busy man covering the Celtics.
Yeah. Been there, done that. Went through this when I was in Detroit, so this is all, been there, done that for me.
All right, we'll continue to watch you on Comcast Sportsnet in Boston. Thanks so much for coming on.
Okay, take care.